It's a beautiful fall day in Arkansas. What do you say we take a train ride into the Boston mountain range of the Ozark Mountains? Van Buren, Arkansas is a historic town located right on the Arkansas River in the northwest part of Arkansas. It traces its roots back to the early 19th century. It was originally settled around 1818 and was a small trading post. Initially, it was known as Phillips Landing, but by 1831 the town was renamed after Martin Van Buren, who later became the 8th President of the United States. Built in the late 1800s, the Arkansas and Missouri Railroad, the A&M line, played a significant role in the history of Van Buren. It was originally part of the St. Louis-San Francisco Railway, also known as the Frisco Line. But by the 1980s, the old Frisco lines faced closure, and in 1986, the A&M line was formed when local investors bought the tracks and turned them into something amazing. Okay, we're here to pick up our tickets for the train ride.
Good morning. What's the last name of the reservation?
Kramer, K-R-E-M-E-R.
Mark.
Yep.
I have you right here, two of you in car 108 upstairs in the dome. I have you car 108, table 3, seats 3C and 3D with a deli sandwich and chicken Caesar salad for lunch.
After you get your tickets, you can relax at the train depot. They have lots of seating area, or they have some covered pavilions across the parking lot. Or you could do like I did and head over to Chapters on Main bookstore and coffee shop. Now listen, I'm not a big coffee drinker. I like the way my wife makes coffee, but other than that, I'm just not a big coffee drinker, especially all the fancy stuff. But when I went in there, I said I wanted something cool and I wanted something chocolatey, and she went to work. And I've got to tell you, it was absolutely delicious. But then, of course, listen, once you drink your coffee, I'd encourage you to go browse the rest of the store. They have a ton of books, all kinds of different books. Pick yourself up one or two. You can enjoy reading while you're on your vacation. After I drank my coffee and browsed some books, I went back over to the depot and the train was pulling in. The A&M train line is also popular for its passenger excursions, which take riders through the beautiful Ozark scenery on restored vintage rail cars. They're really quite beautiful. After unloading the passengers from the previous train ride, it was our turn to get on the train, and the conductor helped us get aboard, and we were ready to go. This is the first time I had been on a train in probably 60 years. I remember one time when I was a young man, my dad and I took a train trip together. It was amazing as a kid, but you know what? As an adult, it was no less fun. As we got underway, I didn't really know what to expect. I've never been up in this part of Arkansas, but even though the colors weren't as vibrant as people said they are normally, they were still absolutely beautiful. The countryside was amazing. It seemed like around every curve there was something new. Maybe you'd come upon a farm that's sitting out in the middle of the countryside, or you'd come upon a dry riverbed, or a beautiful, vibrant red tree. It was just really an amazing trip because you just never knew what you were going to encounter next. After riding the train for a while, I could see why there were so many busloads of people at the train depot waiting to take this ride. It is absolutely gorgeous, and as you go along, the conductor will fill you in on various historical facts and various events that happened during the building of this railroad. You know, as you're driving along, or as you're taking a train, or you look at a dam such as the Hoover Dam, you never really think about what went into building that, but all of those things are very dangerous to build, and sometimes it costs the lives of those workers that were involved. These 3 crosses along the railroad track are to memorialize those who died during the construction of these tracks in the late 1800s. You know, one of the things about building a train track through the mountains is that there are mountains in your way, and sometimes it's easier to blast through the mountain than it is to blast away the mountain. This was one of the tunnels we went through, and it was really amazing because when you got in the middle of that tunnel, it was pitch black until you emerged on the other side. About an hour and a half into your train ride, you'll run into a small town called Winslow, Arkansas. No, it's not Winslow, Arizona, and no, you're not standing on any corner. It's the halfway point. You stop, the engine will disconnect, it will go up, and then will come down a side track and then reconnect on the other side of the train to pull you in the opposite direction. Also, as you travel along, there are 3 train trestles that will take you over valleys that have beautiful views of the trees and the Boston Mountains. You're going to want to be watching for those and not miss them. They're absolutely gorgeous. Another really cool thing during your 3-hour train trip is they feed you lunch. I had a sandwich, Pam had a salad. It was really delicious. Well, the time for our train ride to end had come, and we were beginning to pull back into Van Buren. You know, in this day and age, it seems like good customer service has gone out the window.
Thank you. Come back and see us.
You too, thank you. But the staff was so incredibly friendly and helpful. It was wonderful.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great rest.
You too.
Afterward, as we were walking through the crowd, one thing I heard over and over again was just how amazing this ride really was. All right, we just got back from our train ride. It took a little over, what, 3 hours?
3 hours.
Yeah, about 3 hours. And it was really, really amazing. It was quite beautiful. The foliage wasn't quite what it should be because there hasn't been a lot of rain this year, but it was still absolutely beautiful. I'd encourage you to do it.
Yes, very much. It was beautiful. Nice, relaxing train ride. Very much so.
So if you've never ridden a train, if you want some beautiful views and some just meet some neat people, you gotta take a ride on the train. It heads out of Van Buren. They do it year round. So make sure you get yourself a ticket. We hope you enjoyed your train trip in Van Buren, Arkansas. It is absolutely gorgeous. You've got to check it out. And hey, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. That tells YouTube to spread it to other folks. Listen, take care, and we will see you again next week.